Hey guys, it's Perry. Today we're going to be covering the top 10 best junglers in the current meta. As always, I'm going to be focusing this list of champions for Iron to Emerald players if you're looking to get to Diamond or just push past your current rank. This is not for high elo, guys. This is for you if you're lower elo. I really want you guys to understand that in the last 3 patches, Riot has only touched 11 junglers, and half of those champions literally got buffed into nerfs next patch. The meta is extremely stale, so there's no real moves and shifts in how, the champions are in terms of A, B, C, or D. Because of that, we're going to do a top 10 junglers to play on this patch, and why. Hey, I'm perryjg, former pro player for Dignitas, rank 2 in North America, and rank 33 on the Korean ladder. I've helped hundreds of students climb faster, play smarter, and finally understand how to win in the jungle. I have created a new program called the Jungle Kingdom, in which you get daily group coaching sessions, in-depth VOD reviews, and a personalized improvement tracker built to level up your game every single day. Whether you're stuck in gold or aiming for a higher elo, there's a seat waiting for you in the Jungle Kingdom. Make sure to join as soon as possible before prices increase. I'll see you guys in the Jungle Kingdom. So the current meta right now, guys, is really based around stat checkers, champions who can win duels, 2v2s, 1v1s, and fights without having like traditional item spikes. Pretty much what happens is when champions hit items, they are in theory strong, but if you don't have your items and you can still beat them, that's what a stat checker really is. Or let's say you have your items, 1 or 2 items, and you are just completely unstoppable, that's true stat checking. But right now, you pick the best stat checker and you're going to win the game. Alright guys, let's jump into our first champion here. We have Volibear, one of my favorite champions, the king of stat checkers. He has really consistent ganking power, he's really strong in the early game. Every Q flash, you're going to kill someone. If you drop your E down properly and you have any follow-up, it's literally not a dodgeable stun. You Q flash auto them and they're hit. He's overall really easy to play. He has strong objective control. You win 1v1 against 90% of the champions in the game simply because you just deal a lot of damage. Your ratios are really good. You have stun, you have healing, you have shield. You have it literally all. The only big concern about Volibear is the spell usage. Now, I'll mention this time and time again. The spell usage is really, really important to understand. You need to be catching your shield. You need to be using your W to mark enemies to get the healing. Volibear is actually deceptively squishy if you're not constantly like using your E to shield or get the heal. Like, you're actually not that strong. Think about it. Your first item is a bruiser item. Second item can be even more damage and not defensive. Overall, like, Volibear's base stats aren't that high. So if you miss your E or you use your W poorly, you are actually going to do way less damage and die way faster. So you guys need to be really aware of how you're using those spells. Watch my videos, watch my content on how I play Volibear to understand the depth of this champion. Overall though, he's one of the better junglers. Solo killing dragon, solo killing grubs, herald, diving. He does it all. He does it really fast. 500 damage per E on the dragon early on. And if you have teammates with you, literally one of the biggest smites in the game early on, and you'll absolutely stomp the game. Number 1 recommendation, Volibear. Now our next champion here is going to be Amumu. Good old Amumu. He's good at everything, really. He has a fast and healthy clear speed. He's pretty safe. Has one of the best ultimates in the game for forcing team fights and skirmishes. He has 3 different forms of CC, and 3/4 of his damage it's literally AoE. His WE R is all AoE spells, 2 Qs and an ulti, and his ulti CCs everyone. Games are now being decided by objectives. Objectives are more important than ever in League of Legends because you have Otacon, you have Herald, you have Grubs, the Dragon, the Baron, all these objectives, that's what changes the game. So if you get good teamfights with Amumu, you will absolutely change the state of the game. The thing about Amumu though is he is very ult reliant, and you need to be careful with how you use your early game pressure because you need to farm for level 6. You need to be safe as much as you can. If you take a fight without your ultimate, chances of winning are really low, so a lot of people make really poor choices on Amumu simply because they are not fighting around their ultimate. Big thing, guys, I want you, if you're listening and you're like, oh, I'm interested in playing Amumu, if you often use your ultimate before an objective spawns and you waste your ultimate before dragon, this is not the champion for you. This is not the stat checker where on Volibear I can ult something and I can still fight. You use your ultimate before it fights, and you normally do, that's a habit. Do not play Amumu. make sure to save your ulti before objective spawn. The third champion that I recommend you play is going to be Trundle, the Troll King himself, the Pillar Master. He's very similar to Volibear, where he can literally win any 1v1 he wants at literally any moment in the game. You could even be down items and you can still win 1v1s. The thing about Trundle though is he is very, very strong if the enemies are not that mobile, and he does pretty much the same thing as Volibear, but he actually deals with tanks way better, and he can snowball the game way faster. Trundle actually can really dominate the map because of his move speed with your W. You also have really high passive healing when you kill something. There's a lot of good things with Trundle, with his healthy clear, with his Q slow, with his ulti. Overall though, you're looking to get early game kills with your pillar, and you're looking to get early game dragon, and you're looking for aggression, you're looking to fight, you're looking for power, you're looking for calculated fights with the steroids from your W, with the Q slows, and with the E pillar. Your ganks are crazy strong, your skirmishes are crazy strong. And guys, the big catch, the big catch, a lot of you guys might be like, oh, I don't want to play Trundle, he doesn't scale well. You're wrong. Trundle scales really well. A lot of people skip their camps and start, ganking because they're afraid they're not going to be strong. But Trundle's 3-item, even 4-item spike is actually very strong. Super annoying, super tanky. So I need you guys to understand that you can actually 1v9 games if you're farming on Trundle. Triforce, Deadman's Visage. You can even go, Titanic Hydra or Ravenous into Triforce. Either one is fine, but Trundle is really powerful in scaling. Some pros actually like to put 3 points into their Q and then max their W after on Trundle. This will allow you to travel the map really fast, be where you want. You can try that out, see if you like it. Alright, let's jump into the next champion. Our fourth champion on this list is going to be Nocturne, the boogeyman of jungle. Nocturne is literally one of the most annoying champions to play against in the game. If you're going for a gank, Nocturne can be there. If you're trying to push a lane, Nocturne can be there. You're looking to do an objective, Nocturne can be there. And the thing is, when the fight happens, everything is going to turn dark. Information is completely out the window. We don't know what's going on anymore. Who's low, who's healthy, where are they fighting, what's going on. Nocturne really disrupts people, and it's really hard for lower elo players to play against a champion like Nocturne. Thing is, Nocturne is very boring, and I understand that. Same thing with Amumu, kind of boring. They fit the same boat where you're very powerful with your ultimates. You're very farm heavy. You're sort of team oriented. You're super ult reliant, so you don't do anything in the game without your ultimates. Thing is, guys, this is a list for the best champions for you to play so you can climb. And I'm telling you, you want free LP, you play a champion like Nocturne, you play a champion like Amumu, and you will win more than you lose. That's why I recommend these champions. But real quick, to finish up the conversation on Nocturne, if you are taking any fight, you'll probably win it because of your fear. Overall, Nocturne gets a lot of AD from his Q, the fear value, the ulti value. The big thing about Nocturne is you actually need to use your spell shield very well. You double the attack speed you gain from your W if you get hit by a spell and you actually shield it. So remember, you lose out on a lot of damage if you don't use your W correctly. And let's say they CC you because you missed your W up. It's also really bad if you don't actually dodge the spell. Alright, next on the list here is Jarvan, the king himself. Jarvan is going to be always strong in solo queue. You have good gank potential. You have good teamfight potential. You're really good against immobile carries. Gurren right now is dominating NA because of the Jarvan. He's his king champion, his main 1v9 champ. Something to be careful about with Jarvan though is you don't have the fastest clear speed. It's not bad, but it's not healthy. You don't have inherent HP regen from anything. You only have your W. So you're not going to be that efficient. And the big thing about Jarvan is the way you fight is not very normal. The way you use your ultimate, the way you use your EQs. The big thing you want to make sure on Jarvan, guys, is you study, and you play the champion to its limits, and you learn how to use your EQ, how to re-Q on your flag, how to use your ultimate, then EQ out, how to flash R, EQ out. Jarvan takes a lot of practice. But once you perfect this champion, you are unstoppable on the map. Here's the thing, you need a lot of information on this champ as well. Who's the carry, who's flashes down, who's immobile, If you answer these simple questions, you will get a lot of value from this champion. Our next champion here is going to be Diana. Diana is the consistency queen herself. She's very, very, very powerful. Stable champion who's good at most things. Good, healthy, fast clear speed. Strong at dueling. Strong at team fighting with a lot of AoE. She's basically the cross of Amumu and Nocturne. She has AP, she's AoE, and she naturally can duel bruisers once she has her Nashers, and even before if you play well. Like Nocturne, she's also really good at split pushing. If the enemies leave you alone at a turret at all and you have your Nashers or you have some AP, you will literally just crack the turret. You're just one-shotting the turret, boom, 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 and the turret's getting crushed. The bright side about Diana is you can do different builds, and you also can do more without your ultimate. Amumu and Nocturne are simply super reliant. Diana isn't. The catch with Diana, and like I've mentioned with some of these champions, is the difficulty with fighting. I talk about this method called the in and out fighting all the time, and I really, really, really want you guys to understand that if you don't apply the in and out method, where you go in, you use some spells, and you walk back, you save your HP, you go in, you use some spells, you walk back, you will not 1v9 on Diana. A lot of people go in, ulti, go forward, and they die. That is the most common thing I see in lower elos. You don't apply in and out fighting on Diana, and you are going to make sure that you're not climbing if that's how you play. But guys, understand that you need to apply in and out fighting. You will be very, 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 very thankful. That's how you're viewing Diana. To touch on the builds real quick, you can go the Bruisers, Liandry's, Riftmakers, Zhonya's, even the Bloodletters. On top of that, you can also go Nashers into Unending Despair, or just the full AP. Nashers, Shadowflame, Deathcap, Zhonya's. You have endless opportunity and options with Diana. So make sure you understand that this is a really OP champion in the sense of you can do a lot, you can do whatever you want, but you don't teamfight well, you are not going to be happy. Next up, we have Briar. Personally, I don't love Briar. But this champion is literally one of the best stat checking champions and one of the more face rolling, just no need to fight too well. Just you're strong. So you literally just beat them most of the time. You need some intelligence, you need to make some good choices, and you need to understand your champion, but you literally win 1v1 against every jungler, every laner, everything. You win almost every single contest. So I need you guys to understand that normally I don't recommend Briar because I don't like losing the function from your character when you W someone. But, you know, if you like fighting and you just want to fight all the time, there isn't a better champion than Briar. One of the key aspects about Briar that a lot of people don't actually talk about and understand is the global ultimates. It's not the easiest to land, but once you actually think about how to use Briar ulti correctly, and you want to properly use Briar to her strengths, the virtual global ultimate is extremely powerful because Nocturne ulti has a lot of range, and that's really powerful, that's really OP. Literally, so does Briar. It's just, you gotta try to land it. Briar's ult is actually bigger than Nocturne by a lot. So you have a lot of opportunity to, oh, they're doing the dragon, I have a pink ward there, or I have a regular ward there, I see it, boom, ult them, and they're screwed. And there's so many opportunities with your ultimate. But yes, guys, is this champion OP? Absolutely. Would I recommend it? Not for everyone, but if you like Briar, go for it. The next champion we have here is Kindred. You might be surprised to see Kindred on this list, but with some more thought, you'll realize why she's actually really good of a champion. Almost all the champions I've named on this list are bruisers or tanks with very low mobility, just speed ups like Volibear Q or Trundle W. Thing is, guys, Kindred excels at kiting these champions. Her dash is on a 3-second cooldown when you use your W properly. Your W does an insane amount of damage. It's actually max HP damage. You're literally a tank slash bruiser shredding machine. On top of that, you scale insanely well. You can get a lot of marks. It's becoming easier and easier to get all these marks. And guys, marks are worth like 1 kill each. Every mark you get is like a kill's worth of value. Once you get the 3 mark and once you get more and more range, Kindred is like actually Omega Giga broken. The problem with Kindred is I've mentioned hard mechanical champions in a way. Kindred is by far the hardest. Everyone else is relatively simple, relatively understandable. Kindred perfecting at least is one of the hardest. But if you guys put the time and effort, and let's say you came from like ADC, or you played ranged tops, you maybe like played mages mid, Kindred will be good for you because you understand how to play at a range. If you go from bruisers to learning Kindred, you're going to struggle because it's not one of the easiest champions to learn how to execute and play Kindred properly. Now, our 9th champion on this list is going to be Gwen. This might be surprising for some of you guys watching because she did get nerfed 2 or 3 patches ago. Similar to Kindred though, if you notice, almost every single jungler on this list is a tank or a bruiser. Who's better at melting tanks than Gwen with a Nashor's Tooth? You're level 6, level 11, you get your ultis, you get your Qs, you do your true damage. Actually one of the best tank killers in the game. You guys know this. Gwen is so oppressive like that. Here's the thing. Gwen is an all-around pick. She's a decent clear speed, she's decently strong at dueling, and she actually has really great team fighting. You wouldn't think right away, but she's actually really ult-reliant. So here's the thing, guys. Gwen is really strong, but also really weak at the same time. She goes from a Z tier champion to actually a D tier champion. The thing about Nocturne, the thing about Amumu, is you can actually do more without your ultimate than you really can on Gwen. And the thing about Gwen is you need to be above the curve. There is an average amount of gold you get per game, and everyone's going to hit this curve. You farm a decent amount of CS, 7-8 CS per minute. Everyone's on this curve, maybe 1 or 2 kills. If you drop to 6 CS per minute on Gwen, or go even to 7, you will be behind, you will be weak, you will not be able to carry the game. So you need to scale above the curve, and then you will absolutely not lose like any games on this champion. I think it's actually hard to lose on Gwen. If you are properly farming your camps on spawn, and you're trading when the enemies do objectives. They're on the dragon, don't care, farming camps. They're on the grubs, don't care, farming camps. Oh, I have my ultimate, I have my Nashers. They're doing the dragon, let's fight them. You win the fight, you lose the fight, doesn't matter. Afterwards, no ult, go farm, go farm, go farm. Gwen can really work, guys, and I actually think in lower elos, if you want a champion that's a bit more fun than Amumu and Nocturne, but still has that OP ulti feeling, Gwen is one of the best champions for that. Now, our last champion for this tier list here, guys, it's going to be Viego. I love Viego. He is an honorable mention for me. I actually had to remove a champion to slot in Viego. Guys, I have so many guys on Viego. I have so many explanation videos. I play Viego a lot. Solo queue is chaos, and fights are the king to winning games. It's never been easier to get resets on Viego, and overall, he's a solid champion. He's decently good at stat checking, he's decently good at clearing, great at fighting team fights, you get a reset. The only concern, and the only reason why he's not rated higher and he's not number 1 to 9, is because he is not the easiest, obviously, and it doesn't really beat any of the other champions in a 1v1. Picture you're playing Viego and then there's a Volibear in your face. It's like, oh shoot. You're playing Viego into a Trundle or a Briar. It's like, oh shoot, man. It's like, damn, like unless I'm really fed, I can't actually handle a lot of these champions. Even Nocturne kind of beats Viego. It's like, dude, this does not feel great. But then again, guys, you want to have fun at the end of the day, and you want to have a good chance of winning the game. Viego is one of the champions I would recommend. The only catch is you will need to really truly invest time in trying to learn all the champions in the game and learn how to perfect the mechanics behind Viego. I mention this all the time. E before your possession. Just use your E while you're fighting for the attack speed. Use your ulti when you have a reset or someone. Use all of your possession time. You have 10 seconds to chase someone. You get 10% bonus move speed. You need to know those 4 concepts on Viego. They are so important, and that's what makes Viego at least the 10th champion on this tier list. Alright guys, I'm going to close off this tier list by saying, if you want to play any of these champions, you want the LP, you want to climb, do it. It's really free. These champions are really, really strong right now. But another big thing I want to emphasize is play the champion you love, play the champion you want to climb with, play the champion that gives you joy when you play League of Legends. A lot of people don't understand that no matter what you do, you need to have fun while you do it. Otherwise, you won't be here for the long run. I want to see you guys 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, a year down the line. I don't want you guys quitting because of burnout or making yourself too stressed because of LP, climbing and this and that. Do me a favor, guys. If you choose one of these champions, commit to it for a while. You will see the best results if you commit to a champion and you have that routine and you know the depths of the champion. I don't want you guys switching from Volibear or Viego or Amumu or Diana. You need to commit to something and you will then climb. You need to understand that if you're the guy with 20 different champions, you're going to be your rank for a reason, and you're not going to be able to climb for a really good reason. Alright guys, the last thing I want to say is if you've made it this far, and you've been watching all of this video, I really appreciate that, and if you're here just to hear my closing thoughts, I also appreciate that, but I really need you to listen to this. Your champion is not on this list, and you're feeling bad about the champion you're playing, don't. Any champion can really be played to the highest level. There are plenty of players who are at least masters, one-tricking really random champions. If your goal is get Diamond Masters, you can play practically anything. This list is for the people who are just really unsure about what to play right now, and they don't have attachment to anything. If you have attachment to a champion, don't let this tier list make you sad. It's okay. You can climb still on your champion. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the tier list. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a thing or two. Hopefully you guys have a champion you have in mind that you want to play. I hope to see some of you guys in the Jungle Kingdom. And anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.